Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stagefront VIP, here with the chairman, Mr. Bob Arum, to announce his fight that he's putting on in Las Vegas on pay-per-view, Devin Haney versus Vasyl Lomachenko. This is a fight that a lot of fans have wanting to see, particularly Haney fans, because of the situation that happened a few years ago where Lomachenko opted to go ahead and fight Teofimo Lopez. You putting this fight together, what's the general feeling amongst both of them coming into this fight, Bob?
Well, they both want to win, and they're both terrific fighters, and they'll prepare accordingly. So, I, as a fight fan, I can't wait to see this fight.
In terms of legacy for both, is this the type of fight that's like really sets one or the other apart, or is it something like where Lomachenko's legacy, it's already made, this is just extra?
Well, again, how history is going to write this, I don't know. But certainly it's a big fight for each of them, and they're treating it accordingly.
When you look at the fight, Bob, given Vasily had a very hard time in his last fight, and a lot of people have maybe, I don't want to say question or are wondering, is this the same Vasyl Lomachenko, or did what happened in Ukraine in age, is it starting to creep up with him now? You seeing him, do you feel that in a way it is affecting him, or it is creeping up on him?
Well, certainly the situation in Ukraine has had an effect, and why wouldn't it, he's been asked to defend his country, and, war is war. And his home and his family are 10 miles north of Odessa, which has been bombed by the Russians. So, that has to affect him. He's been in uniform. He's put a gun on. So that always has to be in back of his mind. How that's going to affect him now that he's looking to be the unified undisputed lightweight champion, you'd have to ask him. But, I love Loma. I think he's a real Ukrainian patriot. And he's going to give it all he can.
Do you think age is affecting Lomachenko, or is it was just a tough fight, that last fight that he had?
You don't know, because, again, he left Ukraine to do the fight, and he came here, but his mind had to be back in Ukraine because, he never knew when a missile would take out his home and so forth. Anybody in his place has to be under a strain based on what's happening on the ground in his country.
The winner of this fight, Bob, how do you want to position them? Because I know fans would love to see the winner fight Shakur Stevenson, and fans would really, really love to see the winner face off with the winner of Gervonta and Ryan Garcia.
Well, the lightweight division is really loaded with good fighters, and I think the fight that I always wanted to see was either Haney or Loma against Shakur Stevenson. But again, Garcia and Tank Davis are terrific lightweights, and they're in the mix.
I still want to see Loma and Gervonta. I know, like, for years we talked about that fight. I don't know how likely it would be. Like, Ryan and Tank, a lot of people are saying it's a 50-50 fight. This fight, a lot of people are saying it's a 50-50 fight.
Well, that's a good fight, too. It's a good fight, but, the kid, I think, who's waiting in the wings, who's proved himself as a professional, is so talented as Shakur Stevenson. So we'll see. Obviously, after this fight, I'm going to, and if Shakur is successful, I mean, Shakur has been with us for years, so I'm going to push him as the opponent for the winner of this fight.
How soon would we get that, you feel, if everything goes smooth, the winner doesn't come with any injuries, Shakur doesn't come with any injuries this next fight? Like, how soon could we see the winner in Shakur?
I mean, I can't say, because, I mean, these guys have their own agendas, and the timetable is really based on them. So again, I want to look at this fight, and then we'll make plans for future fights after this fight's over.
You know boxing, Bob, just because it's a big fight and fans are just chattering about it, who do you pick to win in the fight with Gervonta and Ryan Garcia?
I like Davis. I think that he's a more complete fighter than Garcia. But Garcia seems always to be able to rise to the occasion. So I think it's a terrific fight. But if I had to bet the fight, I would bet Tank Davis.
How much would you bet?
Well, I don't know.
Do you bet at all?
I never bet on boxing.
That's probably a good thing. Could get in trouble there, Bob. Switching top.
You're allowed to. No.
I didn't know we were allowed to. You're allowed to as a promoter to bet on fights?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would never. I don't. But if particularly a fight that I'm not involved with either fighter, why shouldn't I be able to bet like everybody else? I mean, where I come from, gambling on fights is legal.
What's the last fight you betted on?
I've never bet on a fight.
No, ever?
Ever.
Okay, I was gonna say, give me some tips there, Bob. I want some money on these things.